introduction. Also increasing the expectations by every. So, good evening all. I believe it is a valuable life tool to know how do you think and also to know how others think. And let's try to stick it out until we know about that. And I would like to ask a question and start the session with that. Anyone fears air travel? Anyone has a scared of air travel? So this is one of the most brave audiences that I've ever met. There are also reasons for that, so as we will see. I just want to share the number of commercial flights over a year around the world. I'm sure you now have some estimates, guesstimates in the minds. That is 36 million flights around the world. These are commercial flights. And 3 billion people, these are the passengers that are traveling on the airplanes. Any ideas of the number of accidents which may scare some people sometimes? That is actually 1 in 2.5 million flights. So that is quite a tiny fraction of the overall flights around the world, the possibility of having an accident. Obviously there are accidents, unfortunately, and there are also casualties. And the number of casualties over a year is roughly 200 to 1,000. So that is the picture for the airline industry. Let's see what happens in the health industry. That is quite interesting. Now, just looking into the deaths due to preventable medical errors, which means the doctors could have made a better job, either in the diagnosis or in the treatment or in the operation. It is 50,000 up to 100,000 just in the USA. And furthermore, on top of it, there are also premature deaths that are due to preventable medical harm. So, which means, unfortunately, the doctors made worse or harm than good to their patients. And the numbers there is much more striking. That is 400,000 just in the USA per year. Adding these up and then linking this into the airline industry makes it 2 Boeing 747 airplanes crashing every day in the US. So now let's shift the gears a bit and come back to our original topic of how do you think. Now, as I was presenting these 2 slides, all of you had your own understanding, had your own thinking, had your own awareness. And I would like to put 4 different quotes here now, and we'll ask you just to attach whatever you might have been thinking whilst I was sharing this information with you, with those quotes, whichever quote best describes your thinking whilst you were listening to me. The first one is, why would I believe this guy? How do you know all about that? Because he didn't give us references. The references was missing. Or it may be the other kind of thinking. What about the whole world, about the health industry? What happens in the rest of the world? The number should be much bigger. Maybe instead of 2 Boeing airplanes, maybe 2 transatlantics are sinking every day. Or it may well be, oh my God, this is outrageous, unbelievable. The doctors should have done a better job. They should have been respectful to their patients and be more careful. Or you may be thinking, there should have been better rules and regulations. What about the ethics code of the health system? Someone should do something. So can I see now the hands? I will also summarize. The ones that I quoted on the green one. Why and how this guy knows it and the missing references. Anyone had any thoughts about that? What? Be fair. Okay. What about the red one? What about the world, the health industry? What about, oh my God. There should have been more respect from the doctors. Okay, excellent. And what about the rules and regulations, the ethics code? Okay. So this shows us that even in this small group of people that we have at least four different types of thinking. And this is for a reason. The reason is our brain, how our brains are structured. I just missed this part. Now I will use also this analogy of the brain. Our frontal left part of our brain is about the analytical thinking. The question is the why question. So it's good at mathematics, it's good at analytics, it's good at reasoning and logic. The other part, which was the red one, is actually the frontal right part. This is about the imaginative thinking. This is about the intuition. It is about using metaphors, thinking about the big picture. The other one is about, the basal right one is about the who question. That is about the social harmony thinking. So that's about the spiritual experiences. That's about bonding, nurturing, and all that. And the last one is about procedural thinking. And with that, now we are seeking for the regulations, we are seeking for the processes. It's a sequential thinking mode. Now the good news is, and the key part of this knowledge is, we are born gifted in one of those areas. That's our natural efficiency. That's where we consume only 1 unit of energy as opposed to the rest of our brain. That also showed that all of us have different thinking styles. So what does it mean? If we are using these strengths, so our natural efficiency in our daily lives, at work, at home, in our relationships, then that's fine. But if we are bound to use other skill sets than our strengths, then it means driving into stress, anxiety, and even into depression. But if we are fulfilling our own strengths and using them in our daily lives, then we are in a state of flow, and that leads us into happiness, success, and health. So let's stick it out to learn about how do we do. Thank you.